What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Lunchbox, a podcast where we talk about literally everything and anything. We are three different people, three different perspectives, three different generations. I am Alex. Join with me as always. Boy's a little bit eager.
Yes, he is.
Join me as always is my boy Roy right here.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Good to be here.
And to my right is my cousin Simon.
That's good. I already introduced myself.
You did. You were excited. So, right off the bat, we're jumping in. What's the best way to hide a body? You kill someone, what are you doing?
Okay, first of all...
Sorry, Roy.
First of all, when you're hiding a body, all right, here's the deal. All right?
I love how you know. You just already know the answer.
He's like, let me tell you. I've done this before.
Listen, okay, you young bucks, listen. All right, you want to hide a body, right?
Yes,
Here's
please.
what you do. Okay, you take the body, and you got to make sure that you don't leave a blood trail.
Sure.
All right, so plastic bags, trash cans.
Okay.
Trash can bags, you know, make sure you don't. And then if you're going to hide the body, the best place to hide it is where people would not look for it.
Alligators.
No.
Okay.
No. Is it a guy? Is it a girl?
Oh, it's a man.
Okay, so it's a man.
Yes, you killed a man.
Is he black? Is he white? Is he Hispanic? What is he?
He's a Jewish boy.
Okay, so he's Jewish. All right.
Yes.
So what you do, okay, what you do.
I don't know if we should have said
I don't know if I like
what
where
you
this
do.
is going. I feel like we're going to play into some stereotyping.
No, I'm not. I'm
This
just
is gonna
okay,
be
let's
bad.
go. Okay,
I'm just
go ahead,
saying
Roy.
where people would
Sure.
not expect this body to be.
Okay.
All right. So
Yes.
you go straight out here where the country boys are. They would never find this body ever where the cowboys are.
Right.
You know, because they talking about how like hogs are everywhere and they got the wild
Feed him
hogs.
to hogs.
Yes.
Chop his body up and feed him to hogs.
Yes.
Why not alligators though?
Alligators would
Because
be fine.
he's Jewish.
So
Well, with that being said, that's an excellent spot for some intro music.
The Lunchbox.
The other day, probably about like a week or so ago, Simon and I went to GameStop because I wanted to get a new controller for the Switch.
Okay, cool.
So whenever we roll up to GameStop, we start walking in, and on the front door is like a wanted thing, right?
a wanted poster.
It was a wanted poster with like a kid's face. The camera outside of GameStop
got
had
you,
taken a picture of this kid, and they posted it on the front door.
Yeah.
So the glass door was completely like
It was
broken.
just so the panel where the glass normally would be, it was just wood.
Oh.
It was
Okay.
like plywood with
So
the
we're like,
wanted poster on top of it.
Someone broke in this bitch.
And they found the kid. They have video of the kids doing
Yeah.
it.
So we went in there, bought the controller, asked the guy, we were like, so what was going on with that? And he was like, weird story. This kid probably like what, 12, 14? Probably no, 14 or 16 maybe?
I think he said like 18 to 20.
Was he?
I
Okay,
think
so like
that's what he
18-year-old kid walks in, uses his power-up card. So like a card that you use to get discounts where your name and your address is on there.
Okay.
Uses his power-up card. I think he bought like a $20 game or something, and he stole a controller or vice versa. Kid used a card where his address is, stole something, left, came back, threw a rock into the store,
Okay.
returned to the scene of the crime where he stole something.
Right.
Prior to all this, he used a card where it showed everybody his address.
No.
Dumbass. And the kid came back and threw a rock into the store.
Right.
And the cashier's like, he committed like he would have had to pay, it was like a misdemeanor.
It would have
Right.
been like petty theft.
Because it was
fine.
like $30 controller, so it was a misdemeanor.
Right, yeah.
And then he comes back and he commits 2 felonies.
Yeah, there was like public endangerment.
Public endangerment, like vandalism or something.
yeah.
I don't know.
Destruction of
Point being,
property.
like, how? And then the cops went and arrested him at his house
Oh,
because
yeah.
he used his damn card.
Yeah. He used,
What are you doing?
Yeah, you use your ID and immediately they know where you are. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, how stupid do you have to be?
Stupid. Yeah.
So stupid.
Stupid.
One of my favorite quotes is like, the more people I meet in life, the more I realize how much I love my dog.
Yes, you use
And I was
that
like,
all the time.
People
Yes.
are so stupid,
Yes.
dude. I don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah, foolishness. Like, why would you use your card and use it to steal and then come back and throw a rock? That makes no sense.
It makes zero sense.
and completely broke
And-
the glass pane going
Right.
into the store filled with people.
My line of thinking, I was like, if this kid is getting ready to steal something and you're gonna like submit yourself to those type of consequences, why are you wasting your time on a controller?
Yeah.
Steal a damn $4,000 TV, right?
It's a fair point.
Yeah, if you're gonna do anything, it's like go big. You know what I'm saying?
Steal
Might as
everything.
well.
I mean,
You might as well.
go Ocean's 11. Just go in there.
I've never seen it.
That's okay because that's all right.
Okay.
Try
For
to
my
grab a
friends who
Rolex
don't
or
know, it's a
something.
movie
Sure.
about a big heist and they rob everything.
Okay.
All right. Sinatra did one and then Clooney did one. Anyway, Long story short, if you're gonna steal something, steal it big. Go in there big, and then don't use your own ID. Use a fake ID.
The dumbest thing you could do.
I don't know.
Guys, welcome to the Lunchbox, the podcast where we talk about how to get away with murder and what you should steal if you decide to do it.
I love how this particular episode has started out with how to commit a felony.
Exactly. And then talking shit about people who do it poorly.
And then talk bad about those who have done it really poorly. Not that either of us have ever been convicted of a felony.
Right. Supposedly.
I winked.
Allegedly.
I don't like that wink. I feel uncomfortable now.
Because he winked at you?
No, because you winked. Mentioned that nobody here has ever committed a felony.
No one. I said no one's been convicted of.
Are you a felon,
difference. There's a difference. No one's been convicted of.
What was the wink? I want to know the true meaning behind that wink.
Okay, well, here's the verbal words that I use is no one's been convicted of a felony, meaning no one has been proven to have been.
Important distinction.
Yes. As opposed to committing a felony.
This is getting a little bit deep because I feel like this is the case, is the difference between people in prison, inmates, prisoners, whatever, and people in society are the people in society didn't get caught.
Well, yeah.
I think that the Venn diagram, the overlap is people all do criminal things more or less at some point in their life, do sketchy things to get them in trouble. And
like I ran a stop sign getting here today.
Interesting.
Yes. I didn't see it. I just blew right by it. Your neighborhood's really woody. Okay, there's woods everywhere. I don't know what a stop signs are. I'm like,
it's very what? What did you say it was?
Woody.
Oh,
lots of trees.
Yes. The word one more time.
Woody, the character from Toy Story.
Okay, or something else. That's fine. Sexual undertones. It's okay.
Yeah, well,
that's okay.
You have a lot of tall trees in your neighborhood.
The tallest trees catch the most wind.
Yes.
The proverbial saying,
and so,
if you will.
Back to my point, Mr. Lawyer.
Sure.
Okay. No, I have not been convicted of a felony.
Okay.
Wink.
Okay. Have you got now?
Did I kill someone? No.
Not during the weekday.
No, it's only on
weekends
Saturdays and Sundays.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, Saturdays are cool.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask.
Friday night is technically a weekend.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Wink.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Roy. I have a question for Roy.
Okay.
Has it? Because remember how I showed you the trailer for Queen and Slim?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The movie.
Fantastic movie.
Great.
For those of y'all who are
I
listening,
haven't seen it, but yes.
You should definitely see it. Simon, you should see it too. For those of y'all who haven't seen it out there that are listening to this podcast, if you have not seen Queen and Slim, you should definitely see it. This is not a sponsorship or a promo, just my personal belief. I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think, as a black man, do you get pulled over more? Have you gotten pulled over in your life more, and you think that it's a consequence of being black?
I think I have been pulled over in my neighborhood. Yes.
In that instance, do you think that it was worthy, it was necessary?
No, because I didn't run a stop sign and I was not speeding.
What was the cop like?
He literally asked me, "What are you doing in this neighborhood?"
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yes.
Was he like some redneck type cop?
No,
really country?
No. Well, I mean, this part of the country is kind of, not to say that that's what you typically get, but yeah, you kind of get mostly that in that particular neighborhood. I mean, it's in the county, so it's not really like city where I live.
That's so nuts.
So, and I obviously,
what the hell?
There's racial profiling.
Of course, always.
I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's, I know I'm black.
Right.
It's not like I wake up in the morning and go,
That was a loud scream.
Get it off! Trying to wipe it off.
Get it off! Get it off me!
Where's my fair complexion?
No!
Not this!
No, Michael Jackson, no.
But that is so messed up that he would literally be like, "What are you doing in this neighborhood?"
Yes, he literally asked me that question.
What is your response?
That's not rational to me.
What was your response? Did you immediately get defensive, or were you cool, calm, and collected?
In my head, I'm like, this guy is probably run into a lot of black guys who are not supposed to be in this neighborhood. I said, "Yeah, just check my license." He looked at him, walked away. I sat in my car for maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, and he walked back and he said, "Have a nice day. Slow down. Have a nice day."
Interesting.
Yeah. So I just remained calm.
Sure.
I didn't get defensive because it's kind of like an authority thing. I know he's an authority figure.
Right.
And, my goal is to get home.
Sure.
And not to get shot while
Right.
I'm out there. And this was before the whole,
police brutality type of thing.
well, before everything blew up in the news. This was
Right.
years before that. But I understood kind of at that time, that he probably, runs into people who are not supposed to be in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And it's not like I was on my way to work, I think it was. Yeah, I was on my way to work. And I did stop at the stop sign. I do not think I was speeding, but I can't fault him for having his racial profile up.
Right.
He's just,
That's so messed up that happens.
That's terrible.
Cops, literally, I go on the immediate defensive.
Right.
So, like, there was this one time whenever I was studying for the bar a few months ago, we had this thing at school where, it was like it was this whole spiel about like how to study for the bar and a bunch of stuff, just a review of some things. And it was like 6 hours. I was at school for 6 hours and I had forgotten my wallet that day.
Oh,
so
God, okay.
The one day that I forget my wallet, I also get pulled over. But it was weird because they had just put in the stop sign by my friend's house.
Oh, yeah.
They had just put the stop sign in, and there were two
wow.
cops, not even in a car. They were standing on the street, and they were waving people over. So he was waving for me, motioning me to come over and pull over. And I thought that, I don't know what he was doing. I was really confused.
Yeah, it's unclear.
Right. He was like, "You didn't stop at that stop sign," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I'm so sorry.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like I really didn't mean to. I apologize. And then he starts writing me a ticket, and I was like, Are you sure I didn't stop? And he was like, this whole thing. Meanwhile, there were a bunch of people behind me that were trying to go through because, like I said, I got pulled over on the street.
Right, yeah.
So I was in a lane still, and there were people behind me that were like, what the hell? Why isn't this guy moving? And they started honking, and I was getting flustered, and I was like, can I move my car? And I was starting to get a little bit defensive.
Because everyone's behind you and drawing all this attention and stuff.
So I was supposed to parallel park, and he was telling me, essentially, he told me to parallel park, but he was like, here, move your wheel like this, and like started showing me how to do it. And I was like, what? So I was like trying to mirror what he was doing.
Oh my God.
And the car wouldn't parallel park. And then I was like, are you wanting me to parallel park? So I just started doing it. And he was like, no, not parallel park. And I was like, that's what this is. That's what it is. I was like, I know how to parallel park. This is what I'm doing. And I was getting really upset. And then he wrote me a ticket. The rest is history. But I was just immediately, whenever I deal with cops, I get very defensive.
Right. Yes.
Have you ever been pulled over, Simon?
Yeah, I got pulled over for the first time a couple of weeks ago. I've only been driving for like 4 years.
Okay.
3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And he doesn't even really drive that much.
I mean, yeah.
To be honest.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing
Go ahead.
crazy. But anyway, so I was in my mom's car. Unfamiliar vehicle for me. I normally
Sure.
drive
Yeah.
my car. It was dark. I see these two cops on the side of the road, like just like parked. You know, like the big like SUV style cop cars. Yeah. And so I just made sure I wasn't speeding, which I wasn't at all. I was going exactly the speed limit.
Right.
And I was making a left-hand turn, so I turn my signal on, get into the turn-only lane.
Yeah.
And 5 seconds later, sirens are on behind me. So I had no idea why I was getting pulled over. I just thought...
I feel like Simon's the type of person, first of all, to get pulled over for going too slow.
No.
I just think that is the type of person that he is.
No, that's not me.
That really is.
That's not me.
You've seen the episode of Friends? Do you watch Friends?
Yes.
The episode of Friends where Ross gets pulled over.
But I watched it when they like actually came out.
When it actually aired. Whenever Ross gets pulled over for going too slow in the Porsche, that's Simon.
Oh,
I feel like.
God.
Okay, go ahead.
But anyway, so I could not figure out what the hell I got pulled over.
Well, what did he tell you?
The back.
He probably walked up and said, "Hey, Grandpa."
No.
Step on it.
The rear lights weren't.
You are going 18 in a 45. What the hell are you doing?
No. He's doing 20 and a 50.
Yeah, probably
because he's 20 years old.
Okay, right.
Only my headlights were on. So.
Oh, you were going with no headlights.
You didn't have any tail lights on?
No, my taillights weren't on.
How do you do that?
Wait, what? Your taillights weren't on?
Yeah.
That sounds like a mechanical
problem. Were they both
problem.
burned out?
Is there a
something's not adding up?
Wait, what kind of Mojo Sacagawea car are you driving?
The lights. There's like 4 or 5 different settings for the
okay,
lights
so
on
your
the
lights
car.
weren't on.
It was on the wrong setting.
What would you do if the cop was like, he was
Well,
like, I'm going to write you a ticket, but if you come to my car, pull down my pants, and do something fun for me, you can get off. What would you do?
You are fucking weird.
I'm giving you real world situations that you will be able
real
to think
world situations
that you would be able to think of now and understand what you would do beforehand.
Not gay porno hub, but real life situations.
What would you do?
What do you mean? What would I do? What would you do?
I would speed off. Say, hell no, I'm not
W-
touching your pecker.
Obviously.
What's going on? Weird way to take that. Sorry about that.
Anybody with a brain would do that.
Well, I mean, there are some people that would probably.
Well, he's probably young and willing.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to get at?
Maybe.
He's young and
I don't
willing.
know.
I don't want to take this back to mom and tell her that I got a
Two
ticket.
oddballs. Anyway, I couldn't find the damn insurance, so he was like, "You're free to go." He got fed up that I couldn't find it. I was taking too long.
Doesn't that make sense with getting pulled over for being too slow?
Yes.
And then they pull him over, and then he
I
can't
was
find
like-
his
I
insurance,
was
and they're
like-
like, "Fuck it, just go." Not
I
worth
wasn't
my
going too
time.
slow, though. I was going. I think it was like at the exact moment that I saw the cops parked on the side
Yeah.
of the road. I was literally going 45 in a 45.
That's interesting.
Like it was on the line.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
The other day I was
It's
at work.
probably reverse racial profiling.
Probably. Little white boy. He's not going to do anything bad. Let him go.
He's probably got some, some hemp or something on him.
I was so pissed
Find
though.
some drugs
I was
and-
so pissed because I was literally so close to home. Like,
Wow.
it was annoying. I
Yeah.
was like a turn away from my house.
Yeah.
2 turns.
Anyway, the other day I was at work, and in my work, there's like this hallway to get down to the offices where all the attorneys are.
Okay.
And so I was walking down the hallway. I was walking down that bitch. I was walking down the hallway, and there were 2 attorneys on each side of the hallway, and they were talking. And I walked right in between them to my office, and Josh is one of the attorneys. And then he came into my office, and he was like, "Did you just walk by?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "That's what Chip," the other attorney he was talking to.
Right,
That's
okay.
what Chip said, but I had no idea you walked by. You walked in front of us? And I was like, "Yes, I'm 6'4". I walked directly in front of you." And he was
Yes.
like, "Dude, you move like a ghost." He's like, I never saw you. And before that morning in the office, I had walked out to like go get some coffee, and he was like, "Alex?" He's like, "You're here?"
Wow.
I didn't even think you were here today. And I was like, what the? I literally was like, I shouldn't have been a lawyer. With all this stealth, I should have been a serial killer, and I would be super famous by now.
Or maybe
on
he's
the
just
news.
not observant at all.
Well, I mean, I guess that could be the
I
case.
don't know, dude. You have some kind of stealth abilities like ninja level.
You're so tall though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
I shouldn't be stealthy or
Like,
be able to move around at all.
I feel like if I'm talking to Roy and we're making eye contact,
And I walk by.
yeah, even if someone's like in my peripheral vision, I feel like I'd still notice them.
Well, I mean, he didn't. So, and then this all happened the same
How
day.
old is this guy? Is he like
He's probably
great grandpa age?
87.
No, he's like in his late
97.
30s, late
87
30s,
with cataracts.
like 37, 38, I think.
Okay, so
So-
he's younger than me.
I think I just got crazy abilities. But later on in that day, we were walking towards the car. The day was over. It was
Same
time to
dude?
leave. Same dude.
Oh God.
So I go down the elevator,
Uh-huh.
and I go first because I had to go to the bathroom. So I was like, I need to get to the fucking bathroom. I really have to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the bathroom, and then I walk out, and of course, Josh is the one there walking to his car, and he looks, he turns around, and he was like, did a double take. He was like, "You again? Like, how are you behind me not doing anything?" And I was like, "I'm sorry." I was like, I really don't want to be known as a guy around the office who's creepily behind everybody. And that's what I'm heading for right now.
I think it's just the one dude, bro. I mean, here's the deal. You're 6'12".
Yeah.
And that number's not right. That
that
number's
would be
not,
7 feet,
that
Roy.
number's, you're 6'14".
Yes.
And the fact
That would be 7'2".
That would be 7 too. Very good, Simon.
there should be a correct button to go ding, whenever you guys get it right.
Right.
You're too tall to not be noticed.
Sure.
That's
Sure.
my thinking. I
Yeah.
mean, there's nothing really stealthy about you. I mean, you kind of creep around.
10 seconds ago, he said I had the stealth of a ninja, and now he says there's nothing stealth about you.
Whatever,
I still don't
Yesterday
get.
I was Republican, today I'm Democrat, tomorrow I'll be independent.
I still
You know,
don't
who
get the
cares,
height
right?
factor though. Like, I mean, I get it. You're 6'4".
Sure.
You're more noticeable than most people,
Right.
physically. But I
Right.
feel like even if somebody that was 5'2" walked by, I'd still see them.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's what
But
I'm
it's
saying.
the same dude.
Same dude.
Yeah, I think to your point, Simon, the guy has absolutely no sense of
No
like,
spatial awareness.
Yes,
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he's super focused on all the cases that he has to do, that he's just like tunnel vision or just super hyper focused on one thing at a time. I don't know.
All I'm gonna say for you, here's the advice I give.
Okay.
Back
Bring
to
my
our-
movie prop knife
Yeah,
and really scare people
I was
to
about
work.
to say, just get his wallet.
Okay. Sure. Going with the thief theme of this evening. Steal his wallet.
You're
Go
a
back to
lawyer.
your firm and throw a rock in the window.
Felonies. No felonies have been, convicted of any felonies.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. Do that next time.
Okay, that's fair
see
enough.
if he finds out then.
That's fair enough.
Mhm.
And he always listens to music, which is how I got the idea to listen to music at work, because he just pops his AirPods in and is good to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
so-
I do that all the time. When I was working full time, I would just turn on some music.
What's the best concert that you've been to? What are a few of the notable concerts that you've been to in your life?
Oh gosh, so many.
And you better get your answer too, Simon.
I'm gonna let Simon go first. I love this question. I'm
Okay.
gonna let Simon go.
Go
first.
ahead.
Well, this is an easy question for me to answer because
Okay.
I haven't been to a crazy number of concerts.
Have
in
you
my
been to
life.
like 3 concerts?
Well, I saw Logic and G-Eazy. Most of the concerts I've been to are rap.
Okay.
Okay.
I saw Logic and G-Eazy. I saw Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa.
What'd you do at that concert?
Yeah.
Listen to music.
Yeah,
right.
sure.
That's why the cops pulled him over.
Yeah, exactly.
This kid, he's got some CBD,
Nah.
some CBD oil.
CBD. Boy's coughing. Why are your eyes red as the devil's dick?
Not that we would know.
Go ahead.
I went to the Slipknot concert with you.
Which was
That was crazy.
really awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was his very first metal concert. Boy gets to watch it side
That's
stage.
my only metal concert I've
Oh,
still been to.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And what did you think about that? Because you're not really a metalhead. I feel like you can appreciate
I thought it
some
was
metal,
crazy.
but what did you experience? Like, what was your experience with Slipknot side stage?
Yeah.
Your very first Slipknot
That seems
concert.
like really impressive.
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I had a great night. It was a really cool experience.
Did you go into it thinking you were gonna like it, or were you like, Slipknot, not really my,
I was,
as Roy says, cup of tea?
well, to be perfectly honest,
I do often say that.
You
but
do that because
I-
all your followers are people from Britain.
But I've been changing it up to say flavor of ice cream. But whatevs. I don't
That's an
care.
interesting one. But yeah, I was excited to go, obviously,
Sure,
but I feel like I'd be excited to go to any concert.
right.
You know-
Celine Dion.
Probably
So I was
not.
jamming Celine Dion in the car on the way home the other day, and I was loving every second of it.
Celine Dion has an amazing voice. But
Okay.
Were you gonna say something sarcastic to me,
I
Roy?
was about to- no, I was. I can't hate on Celine because I did like a ton of reactions on my YouTube channel.
Right,
on
I
her
remember
music.
that.
But yeah, if you've given me tickets to go see Celine in like Vegas when she
Sure.
was in Vegas, I would have gone.
Right,
Probably would have gone.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to say I was more so intrigued, just because metal
Oh, okay.
to me is,
Intriguing.
well,
That would make sense.
Sorry.
it's new to me.
Sorry, my
It's new to me.
vocabulary
Yeah.
is small.
I haven't
Yeah.
listened to that much metal.
Right.
I don't know that much about metal.
But it hyped you up.
I remember when you went to Trivium was your first metal concert,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
yeah.
I
I
remember
love that. That was
I
such a
remember
cool
you
experience.
love that.
talking to me
Shout
about
out to Matt Heafy.
Mhm.
I remember you talking to me about like kind of like your expectations.
Yeah.
And then how after you went, you came back from the concert, you told me about it, and
All my expectations were exceeded.
it exceeded your expectations, but it also wasn't what you expected,
Right.
just generally.
Yeah,
So
I thought it was going to be some damn danger scene where people
Yeah.
are throwing kegs around and punching each other with a knife and
Yeah.
shanking people.
The danger scene where
That's what I'm
shanking
saying.
each
That's-
other and throwing kegs.
Doesn't that sound
I
like a
was just-
grandpa?
That
I feel like there's an inner 74-year-old in me named Wilbur.
danger scene.
Yeah, danger scene. A danger scene.
Are you kids going to your danger scene of a concert? What the
And
hell?
I think I'm also blanking on another concert I've been to. I've been to.
I feel like you
Some-
said it was a short list.
Yeah,
I've been to here.
There was
80 minutes later.
There's one more. There's one more.
I was expecting like 2.
Well, while you're sitting pondering that, Roy,
One
what are
more-
the concerts that you've
one
been
more
to?
oh,
rap
you want
concert.
like the whole list? Okay, so keep
Well,
it
just like some notable ones. I'm sure
notable?
you've been to a lot being
Oh,
in
God,
radio and
okay.
stuff.
So,
First of all, at 104,
Yes.
when you worked there, did they give you free tickets all the time?
yes,
That's so cool.
a lot of Rockets games, Houston Rockets games.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
to see the
Dude,
basketball
I would
game.
the
love
Rockets.
that. I would
Dude,
love
and
that.
we'd sit up in the suite, so we had suite access. Well, you had suite access. You were in one of the suites to see the Rockets, weren't you guys?
No.
I
We were in the highest ass seats,
Oh.
damn nosebleeds behind
Sorry.
where 4-year-olds are coughing on you and
Sorry.
saying, I want popcorn! I want popcorn! Shut the hell up, Tom!
So sorry.
I'm watching the game!
I struck a nerve.
We had cool seats
Anyway.
at the Slipknot concert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all those were
Maybe
We
that's
did.
what you're thinking
those
about.
were really good.
Anyway.
I felt like I saw you online and you guys were in a seat while you were watching a Rockets game.
No.
No?
Yeah, a regular ass general admission seat.
Cost $13 a ticket.
Oh wow. Okay.
$13.50.
No, we back to the concert thing.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of concerts working in radio.
Sure.
So, oh gosh, anything, from like small little venues where you're watching like little rock shows put on by U2, at Madison Square Garden. That was a good one because it was like the same. It was November. It was 2 months after 9/11 when I saw that one. That was a good show. That was a great show.
U2?
Yes.
They have their music on everybody's phone like preset.
Yes.
Why are they on everybody's phone?
Interesting.
Have you known that?
Yes.
Well, I saw a chart.
What the hell is that about?
Not to interrupt.
Yeah.
I saw a thing. The top 10, because the decade's coming to a close.
Yes.
The top 10 highest earning musicians
U2.
/ music groups of the last decade. I think U2 was number 6.
Wow.
Number 5 or number 6.
Yeah, I feel like Rolling Stones would be still up on that list because Mick Jagger is like,
he's still going.
he has a deal with the devil. I believe he's going to live to like 170.
100%. 100%. So U2 was one. What else did you go see?
U2 was a great one. Then obviously all the Beyonce, NSYNC, and those shows like I saw from like backstage, obviously, because I was part of the crew that would go and interview them and stuff like that. So those were all backstage. Countless number of shows like that. Bon Jovi.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Gosh, so many. I saw Kevin Bacon and his brother had a band.
Kevin Bacon,
Really?
what the hell?
In Jersey, and then saw a show in
hell is that
Jersey.
about?
That's the same. I think that was the same time I saw the Bon Jovi show. I'm trying to run down the list, dude. It's been so many.
So many, bro.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine.
A lot of them.
Have you been like live musiced out? Like, have you had enough of it where you would just enjoy to listen to it in the comfort of your home with some nice headphones, or you still like the music scene?
I'm more of a speaker guy.
Okay.
I'm not a headphone kind of guy.
Right.
I don't like wearing them. I like to hear music as it comes off the instruments, as it comes off the piano.
Sure.
Ideally, it's not mic'd, but in a concert setting, I love that because they can riff.
Right.
So no, I love live music. I went to a concert recently to see a couple of R&B artists. I forget they're not well known. They was in a smaller venue.
Okay.
But yeah, I love.
You made vlogs about it, right?
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah.
If you want to see those vlogs, a link to Roy's channel will be down in the description.
Right.
Good plug.
Right. I have to put my own. I'll be in the comments.
You mentioned Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
Somewhere I've never seen a concert, but when I was in New York, I was outside Madison Square Garden, and I was just kind of
taken back.
Yes, that's a good
in
way to
awe.
describe it.
Right.
Because there's just been so many iconic performances there, and
Yes.
even like sports events, like all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Just such
Yes.
a crazy,
Boxing,
iconic
basketball. I think they did ice hockey for a while. Didn't
Boxing scares me. I love it. I think it's really cool, but dude, that's scary.
Wow.
It's kind of a fear.
Wow.
Just getting punched in the face over and over again.
I don't know.
It's a scary sport.
I don't know if I could do that.
Hell
ever.
no. Hell no.
Just because I'm I'm not built to withstand a punch to the face.
It's scary. It's a fear. Like
You
I
need
said.
a tough chin for it.
What's one of your irrational fears? Do you have any irrational fears, Simon or Roy?
Irrational fears.
Irrational fears?
One of my biggest irrational fears. I have two.
Okay.
One is roaches. I hate roaches. They're disgusting slime creature, dinosaur.
Oh wow.
Not living without a head for 2 week ass bug.
Irrational.
Seriously, they can live for a long time without their head.
Just squash it.
There's a chicken who lived like 1.5 years without a head. His name was Mike. Look up Mike
Why
the
did your
chicken.
brain know that? Why do you have that stored
Mike
somewhere?
the headless chicken. Look him up.
Okay, I'm just thinking like if I were to look on the wall at night before I go to bed, a huge roach, I'm like, oh dude, like it freaks me the hell out. I hate roaches. Secondly, is throwing up.
Really?
The biggest fear of throwing up.
Interesting.
I hate it.
Really?
Whenever I was younger, I went on a deep sea fishing trip with my dad, my grandpa, my uncles, and my cousins.
Right.
Not these cousins, but some other ones.
Sure, yeah.
And it was a 12-hour deep sea fishing trip out of Galveston. My dad was like, we don't need seasick pills or patches. I guess he had like some sort of
Tolerance.
complex or just like something where he's like, I don't need any help. My body can handle this. And he didn't give me one either. And I did not hold a fishing pole the entire 12 hours.
Oh,
I
God.
was doubled over,
no.
laid
Sounds terrible.
fetal position on a bench that was probably like 1.5 feet thick
No.
for 12 hours, just riding it,
Jesus.
throwing up.
That's horrible.
So
dude.
I have that, like, can't escape. I couldn't escape for 12 hours. So I feel like whenever I start to feel like I'm going to throw up, I have that, like, PTSD of not being able to escape
Oh, yeah.
that
Oh, my
feeling.
God.
That's more traumatic, you could
Oh,
say,
dude.
than just being sick at home in bed.
Yeah, but whenever I am sick at home in bed with some stomach stuff, it's like, I feel like I will never escape it again. It goes
Yeah.
back to
Oh,
that
wow.
feeling of not being
Yeah.
able to escape.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I feel like that is a huge irrational fear of
that
mine.
is like a huge fear. Okay. I'm trying to think if I have
Can't
something
stand
that
it.
is that big. Like
Simon throws up all the time.
well,
What do you mean I throw up all the time?
Well, compared to me, I haven't thrown up since high school. Knock on wood. But you have thrown up like recently, and I feel like
I mean,
Every couple months, you're like, I threw up last night, and I'm like, oh God, what were you doing?
That can't be good for your health.
sometimes
Every other month, I'm
sometimes
just
I get
heaving it up.
nauseous. Sometimes I get nauseous when I drink like an assload of caffeine, or sometimes if I'm on very little sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So then sometimes I drink caffeine to counteract that, and then it upsets my
I
stomach.
thought you were gonna say when I drink a lot of alcohol.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
This is not weird by any
I don't
person,
know.
by a normal person's standards. But the other day, this was yesterday, right?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
Yesterday, the day before, we were opening presents or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And Simon just walks into the living room with a glass of wine. And like I said, everybody out there listening is going to be like, okay, big deal. That's fine. Kid's 20, and I'm, underage drinking. That's a thing. Whatever. People do it. It's not shocking. But he's never done that before. And right before that, he was making homemade pasta. And then he comes into the living room with just like a wine. And I was like,
So what, it was
what
like-
the fuck are you doing?
Wait a second. Is it Christmas Eve? He's like just, walking
He's
around?
just tossing them back.
We were.
It was Christmas Eve. He's just tossing back.
No, it wasn't Christmas Eve.
I think it was the day after Christmas, but
Wait, so it's like in the middle of the day, like, you're just walking around?
It was the
doing Christmas.
evening.
We were
It was the
doing Christmas
evening.
presents.
Sarah had a glass of wine, and my aunt had a glass of wine, and then
Right.
Simon just walks in out of nowhere,
Well, my mom just
sits
said-
down
my
like
mom-
it's normal, and I was like, "Did you all of a sudden become fucking Italian? Why are you making homemade pasta?" He's like, "Anybody want some penne?" I'm like, "What? Penne pasta?
Yeah.
What are you doing drinking white wine? Are you a golden girl from Fort Lauderdale?" What is
I
happening?
really thought there was going to be some, like, a moment where we're going to talk about how he's so bougie. But this, to me,
I made fettuccine for the record.
okay.
I bet it was good. Was it good?
It was really good.
Luigi.
It's a shit ton of work though. Especially
Yeah.
your first time doing it. I fucked it up the first time I did it. I had to
Why
completely
did you come
restart.
into the living room with a glass of wine when you've never done
Because
that before?
My mom wanted a glass of wine. She needed me to reach for a wine glass because she's 5'4". So I reached up for the wine glass and she starts pouring her wine and she asked me if I wanted some. I said sure. That's it. I didn't just magically.
Why do you think it floated from the sky? I'm asking what made you
I
decide to
don't
just
know.
randomly want a glass of wine to walk into the kitchen and
Well, Alex,
Talk about the
everyone
bouquet.
else is doing it, so why not I grab a
Well,
little
no,
glass
I
of
mean-
it?
It was just we were
Peer
all
pressure.
just chilling
It was
at
peer
home.
pressure. It
I
was
like,
peer pressure.
whatever.
so if we start passing around the black tar heroin,
No.
And that's why the cop pulled him over.
Exactly. He starts hitting his arm,
Yeah, let's go.
ready to go and have a good time.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, let's get back to Roy's irrational fear. Do you have any irrational fears?
There are things that I am not going to do.
Okay.
And I guess it's a fear, or it's just things that I've tried, and I said I'm never going to do that again.
Like what?
Like calamari, I'm not going to eat that anymore. I tried it once. I said,
I love calamari. Do you like calamari, Simon?
Calamari's good.
So
I'm
fried
the same-
calamari,
I'm
bro.
the same with escargot.
Escargot.
Snails.
yeah,
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
I
yeah.
tried
like
them
escargot,
I
too.
tried them once. I'd never eat them again.
Yeah, fish eggs, all of that. I've tried
Caviar.
it.
I like
tried-
caviar.
I tried it. Hand to God, I tried it.
Well, that's not really an irrational fear. You're not afraid of fish eggs.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
You could be. That'd be a bit strange though.
They look like poops. What? What the hell, Roy? That was weird.
I used to be when I was younger. I was absolutely terrified of heights.
Really?
Probably-
Oh, really?
Roller
Yeah.
coasters and stuff you wouldn't go on?
I would go on roller coasters, but when we were up high, I'd kind of in my head be losing my shit.
Last time I went on a roller
Like,
coaster, I
really?
blacked out.
Wow.
I was like, everything got black and spotty, and I was like,
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
too
What?
much.
What did you wear?
I don't know
and
what happened.
What
but I
happened?
blacked out on something. I also remember hearing these two
Was
kids.
this like Fiesta, Texas, and San Antonio?
no, this
or
was
something?
the Six Flags in Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've-
Six Flags over Texas, I think.
I've ridden all those
in
coasters.
Arlington.
I don't.
It was like Titan or something.
Okay, the
Titan-
really
Titan.
tall one.
Yes, the huge one.
There are reports. If you go on Wikipedia, because after you went there, I was a little kid. I started reading about it on Wikipedia about that amusement park.
Yeah.
There are reports of people blacking out on a specific.
What the hell was that?
It's Michael Myers.
That was really creepy.
I think something fell. Actually, you had something behind your.
What fell? Everything's up. What just made a sound and Michael Myers is behind me. Jesus.
Apparently, that's a pretty common complaint. People black out occasionally.
That's
on
crazy.
The
I remember hearing these two kids in line talking, and it was that It was that ride that goes like this, you know, it teeters back and forth until you do a full spin.
Okay.
That ship or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were literally, I'm not kidding, I'm not doing this for the story. Literally sounded like this. They were like, I'm thinking if we sit into the middle of this ride, we can maximize our G-force and have a much better experience. I was like,
so Simon was on the ride?
so you were there, Simon.
Why?
I was like, what the fuck am I hearing right now?
Why am I the guy who does the scientific analysis of the amusement park ride?
Scientifical?
I feel
Scientific.
like you answered your question right now by saying scientifical.
Did I say scientific?
You did.
It's not a word.
You did.
Scientific.
Okay, we're gonna whatever you said.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
hold on.
I'm the guy who drives too slow.
Well, no, that you're careful.
You're safe.
You overanalyze and you're careful. But I overanalyze too.
You're smarter than me.
Did you watch the last podcast?
Yes, I did.
Did you watch the last podcast?
Yes, I did.
You see the part wherever we were talking about passing the questions around? And I was like, how are we going to do this? Are we going to pass it for the questions and each one of us is going to ask? And
Sure,
Simon was like, yeah. And then when we did that, he was like, oh, you're going to design your segment for me? I don't want to pass it around 3 times. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I heard
Yes. That's the type of shit that always happens. And I wish it was on video, and now we have it on video.
We do have it on video now.
Yes.
That whole scene.
That type of shit happens all the time.
Yes. You are an intelligent and well-read, knowledgeable human being.
But sometimes you miss things.
Like driving and getting pulled over and not knowing why.
That's okay. Everybody misses things. Talk louder. I can't hear you.
Everybody misses things.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's
human
fine.
nature.
Sure.
We are flawed creatures.
Yeah, we are.
You more so than others.
Whoa.
Oh.
Ooh.
Does that mean that what does that mean?
You are more flawed than most people.
Wow. Well,
Wow.
that flaw has gotten me close to 400,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I mean, if you are, then I need to be flawed. What the heck am I doing? What am I doing?
Speaking of interesting
that was a poor
people,
attempt at an insult.
did you know that they're coming out with, they're doing another Jackass movie, and they're coming out with it
Yeah, I
in
heard about
2021.
Really?
And
So
like,
is-
most of the original cast is coming back.
That's what I
So
was
Johnny
gonna ask.
Knoxville, who else was in it?
Steve-O?
Yeah, Steve-O.
Right.
They're all coming back.
That's about all I can name.
Wee Man
honestly.
maybe. Chris Pawnee is. I think Bam is in rehab right now.
Bam. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Bam Margera.
Okay.
You already said Steve-O, obviously. He's sober now, though.
Oh.
It's interesting.
Steve-O's
Have you
YouTube
gone to his
channels-
YouTube channel?
Yeah, I was just about to say.
His videos are like all the celebrities I've done cocaine with.
Yeah,
or just
they're,
like,
they're so funny.
He
all
has-
all the drugs I've done. Was
dude,
one.
he has all this footage in his room that's just sitting on the floor, and he's
Yeah.
just slowly releasing it on his YouTube channel.
He just goes through all this footage of him
So crazy.
super fucked up on drugs.
Wow.
Do you know
doing
anything about
stupid
a
shit.
lot about Steve-O?
No, I
So-
didn't watch that show when it came. It was on MTV initially, and I didn't watch a lot of it. It was just kind of
Got it.
slapstick
So pretty much
comedy, I guess. More slapstick comedy than
Yeah,
anything.
it's just like them doing crazy stunts
Sure,
and a bunch of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
He did so much cocaine that his septum was so deviated he could put a shoestring in one nostril and out the other and just like floss his nose.
I remember seeing that on like Letterman or something. I remember
Exactly.
he did that.
And he was
Yeah.
just like making so much money from Jackass, I think, and he had a drug problem. And he was getting so much money. He had cases of these little nitrous oxide tubes that look like you put into a paintball gun, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
do
that's what I'm
that.
saying. Yeah.
And he would just inhale it. And then there's like, it's all on YouTube, a documentary. And he was like,
Okay.
his voice went super deep, and he was like, "The devil is coming to get me," and like doing all this crazy shit. And I was like, "What the fuck?" He's like,
'cause
"There's
it does
demons
It
here."
does the opposite
It's like,
of helium
oh,
because of the
shit.
gas is heavier, and
It's-
so
it's
everything
pretty-
gets lower. Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
So I feel like he
Some
would
of
just
the-
do. I had to stop watching that documentary because it
There's
made
a-
my
I
stomach
haven't- I
hurt.
haven't seen
Really?
the documentary. I've just seen like 5-10
It's
minute videos
crazy
of him talking about like stupid, funny stories.
Yeah.
Some when he was involving drugs.
So I mean, I feel like in the older Jackasses, he just used to do like a bunch of cocaine or a bunch of drugs and do stupid stuff.
Right.
So-
Probably. Like, I mean, obviously, we didn't see that, when
Sure.
we're watching it on MTV.
Right.
We just see him and Johnny Knoxville. Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and I'm going
And
to
this
staple
is-
my shoulder to my testicles. Okay.
Steve-O literally took a deep sea fishing hook,
And
put
put
it
it-
through his
yep.
cheek,
Yeah.
and threw himself into the ocean, and they used him as bait to fish for sharks.
I was just about to mention that.
Wow.
He also once swallowed a goldfish whole
Okay.
and drank a bunch of water, and then would make himself throw up over and over again until he threw up the goldfish and it was still alive.
Wow.
the weird. So I'm wondering what this new jackass is going to be like if he's
Wow.
not, if he's sober now.
Yeah.
Is he going to be doing all that crazy shit?
Well, ideally, you pass it on to the next generation, right?
Sure,
You
but
get
there-
some younger Steve-O
Right.
who's learned under the tutelage and
Sure.
didn't do half as much drugs.
That's nuts.
Have you seen him talk about what he did in college?
No.
He talks about this in one of his YouTube videos. When he was in college, he was like super, super drunk. I think he said he was at a party. I don't remember all the specifics, but basically Steve-O's drunken self thought it was a fantastic idea to like jump off a balcony or a roof or something, like down onto concrete. And
Okay.
Did he try to jump into the pool and missed and hit the concrete? It sounds so stupid for him to jump from a roof onto concrete.
it's Steve-O.
Sure, but I mean,
Maybe
there's a line.
Maybe there was a pool. I don't
Okay.
like I said, I don't remember all the specifics.
He did that in one of David
but-
Dobrik's vlogs. He jumped off a roof
Did he?
into a spa, into a hot tub.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's tiny.
That's much safer than a glass of water.
Anyway,
That's a tall glass of
like-
water.
he like face planted when he landed, so he talked about
God.
how like he was just laying there in a pool of his own blood and like his teeth were knocked out, I think.
Anthony Kiedis is the lead singer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Right.
And he
Super
wrote
interesting dude.
He wrote an autobiography called Scar Tissue. I haven't read it all, but I read a lot of it, and there was a story that he used to love the thrill of things. His dad would blow weed smoke into his face when he was like 4 or 5.
Wow,
His
okay.
dad was a partier, a drug
Right.
dealer, would do Quaaludes and stuff, and would give Anthony, his son, the same drugs he was giving, just a lower dose. So he would take a Quaalude pill, cut it in like a third or a half, and give it to him.
Okay.
All the drugs his dad was doing, he would do. So there was a story where Anthony Kiedis would go onto the roof of a house and jump off into a pool. One time he misjudged it, fell and landed on the concrete, and just the way that the story,
The way he described it.
the way he described it, bro, I thought my back was broken.
uh,
I was like, oh my God, can you imagine jumping off a roof and landing on concrete, missing the pool and doing that?
That just sounds painful.
Oh my God, that's the biggest understatement I've ever
there-
heard.
yeah,
That just
there's
sounds
a
painful.
difference between painful and like agony.
And just like
Yeah.
Like
brutality.
yeah.
Do you ever play Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
I love Mortal
Fatality.
Kombat. Isn't there? There's also brutality.
Is there?
Yeah, depending on the finishing move you do.
Fatality.
Fatality is the easier one. Brutality is like the really intense move
I
where
didn't,
you
I didn't
really
know about
fuck.
brutalities. I guess I'm
fatality, yeah.
uneducated on.
I guess you just don't know how to play Mortal Kombat very well.
Oh, well, I haven't played much.
It's so fun.
Yeah,
It is
dude.
I
fun.
love Mortal
You're much better
Kombat.
than me.
Yeah, we haven't played, but yes, I am.
If
I don't know if they
if
even
I
make
played
it
you-
still. Is it still a game?
They have a newer one. I
Yeah,
had
okay.
it
they
sitting
just
on my
came out with one,
Xbox.
didn't they?
I think so.
I think
Really?
so. Or they're
Okay.
going to soon.
Did you
like
get
that.
your Star Wars game
Because
for
they were
Christmas?
all movies
Yeah.
and everything for
He
it.
got the new Star Wars game.
I did.
I know that you two would like to talk about
What
that.
is it? Was it
I haven't
Fallen
played it yet.
something or
Yeah,
other?
Fallen Order.
Okay.
It's apparently like it's a non-canon Star Wars story.
Okay.
Non-canon?
Yeah,
What the hell does that mean?
canon is hard to explain.
Okay. It's kind of like
It's like a spin-off. It's not part of the main storyline.
Okay.
right,
kind
and,
of-
and they don't say that it's part of the storyline. It's
Okay.
kind of like
Yeah.
it's not going to be. So the
It's-
term
it-
canon comes from your Bible, when the Bible was actually, hey, these are the books that are going to be in the Bible. There are some others that were out there, but they never made it into the Bible.
Got
So
it.
those are
Canon.
non-canon.
Got it.
Yeah. So then
Yeah.
we go into Star Wars. These are the Star Wars original movies and all the movies that were released with it. Plus, there's some offshoots out here, and then there's a video game, and there's novels and comic books that typically aren't part
They're
of the story.
They're in their own
Got
plot.
it, okay.
They have
Yeah.
their own plot line, their own little universe. that
Got
they
it,
take
got
place
it.
in.
Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't played it yet?
I haven't played it yet, but
Well, there goes the conversation.
well, I've seen. Some,
Wait, didn't you get it to him for Christmas?
I didn't give it to him.
You got it for Christmas?
Yeah.
And you haven't played it yet?
No.
Wow.
What have you been doing? What games have you played?
Oh, have you been working or something?
Fortnite.
Yeah, I've been playing Fortnite.
Can't get off a damn Fortnite. Gets new games and he's still playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FIFA.
They're
Well,
just,
the games just take forever to install, man. It took a while. I got like 4 games.
Do it before you go to bed.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
right.
Oh my gosh.
I think you probably have the slowest Wi-Fi out of the three of us.
Well,
For sure.
that's not related to Wi-Fi, but
Like the download time?
well, you pop the disc in, and it copies it off the disc onto your system.
Really?
Yeah,
It takes
Hmm.
that long?
it can take a while.
Like a day?
No, not a day, but a couple hours for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That is ridiculous.
I mean, the files on some of those games are huge.
Okay.
Like,
That's weird.
Like what? Like 20 gigs? 30 gigs?
like some over 100.
100 gigs? That's a lot
I
of information.
guess.
That's a
That
ton
is
of
a
information.
huge amount of information.
50, 60, 70. Yeah,
Wow.
Some games are huge.
You know what's pretty cool?
What?
Switching topics. Sorry
Mhm.
about that. Topic ADD. Sarah is my fiance.
Yes.
The other day, I'm gonna be looking at you the whole time, Simon, while I say this.
Okay.
The other day, she
I don't know.
hit me up
So
and was
awkward.
so awkward. I'm gonna scoot in a little bit closer to him.
Wow.
This will be incentive
Where
for
is
people.
this going?
This will be incentive for people to go check out the video portion of this podcast.
Right.
I don't know where
I'm
this
sitting.
is going.
I'm sitting right by Simon, and I'm
Yes.
gonna stare into his face.
Okay. Whoa.
What's up,
The other
bro?
day, hey dude,
Whoa. Whoa.
is this really weird? I'm just gonna let it play out.
Okay.
The other day, Sarah hit me up and she was like, "Hey, I have your camera. I think that I'm gonna start trying to make videos." I was like, "Hell yes!" So she like got a bunch of clothes. I'm gonna scoot away from Simon. I might catch something.
Well, the other thing I mentioned before we started rolling
Just kidding,
was
boy.
that you actually smell good today for a change.
Thank you.
That sounded like
That
a
For a change.
backhand
The
compliment.
biggest backhanded compliment. Today you don't smell like a foot. Thanks for coming in clean. Anyway, Sarah hit me up and she was like, she got a bunch of new clothes and she was like, I like watching wedding videos, watching people try on clothes.
Oh,
so
yeah,
she
okay.
randomly, without me convincing her, tried to make a couple videos. So I'm going to do that. And I was like, hell yes. So I was going to ask you a question because I love coming back to talking about how Simon doesn't create content. Make fucking content.
That's probably a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What did
I agree,
Roy,
totally.
as a YouTuber,
Yeah.
as a successful YouTuber,
I don't know about the successful
as
part.
a hugely successful rich YouTuber,
I don't know about the rich part.
as a #1 videos always trending YouTuber,
I'm not sure
Whose
about
net
any of
worth
those
is
stats.
approximately $17 million.
as a $17 million net worth
More like
YouTuber,
$17.
as a $17 net worth
Yeah.
YouTuber,
Yeah, that's about right.
what are your gems? How does someone start a YouTube channel and how does someone become successful?
Well, first it helps if you have someone kind of there to help you do it, like you were for me.
Okay.
Like I started my channel, but I was kind of a like a fish in a fish bowl, and
Sure.
everyone else is going by going, what is he gonna do? What I'm like, it would be nice if we had someone else in this little fish bowl,
Yeah.
so I could figure out how to swim around this thing.
Right.
So you came along,
Right.
after I guess I was maybe, a year into making content
Okay.
on a weekly basis.
Okay.
And you came along and were like, hey, dude, you need to get like more consistent. And I was like, consistent? What do you mean? He's like, you need to be posting more than once a day.
Upload more, damn it.
Yeah,
More than once a day. That's what I said.
Yeah.
More than once a
No,
day.
you said more than once a week.
Okay.
Yeah, because you were making fun of the fact that I only
Upload
post
4 times a day.
I have a question for you two now.
Okay. Well, hold on. He's not done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
And I'm asking this because I feel like people listening they watch YouTube, obviously. They watch
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
want to start a podcast, start a video. I want to bring value to people with this podcast.
Sure,
Go
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, just
go
do it.
start. If I
Yeah.
can do it, if Roy can do it, if Simon can do it, y'all can do it too. So
yeah,
shit.
to me, it just really helped by having you there to go, hey, dude, you really need to step up your game and
Sure.
be a little bit more consistent. And then
Right.
in my head, I'm just this, dictionary guy. I'm like, consistency means keep doing the same thing. And I'm like, I'm already doing that. I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
But then in my head, I was like, he probably means frequency. More frequently.
Yeah.
And I went, a light switched on and I was like, he needs me to, he's encouraging me to do something that I love. And I,
At a higher, just times 2.
yeah, because you want more than just once a week. And I
Right.
was like, I
Well,
could
shit, at that time it's times 7.
yeah, exactly. And I was like, I definitely could do more than once a week.
Right.
What do I talk about? But
Yeah.
you kind of helped me through all of that.
Yeah. That's interesting. And then the rest is history. What's your question?
I was gonna ask. I obviously know you guys just talked about it. You met through YouTube, or like because you were both doing YouTube.
Oh,
But
oh,
what
yeah.
initiated?
How we met?
What was the very first point of contact? Like why?
The first point of contact.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
What I did is I started my YouTube channel. I guess from our very first pilot podcast, we talked that we both had similar amount of subscribers, but Roy had more than me by I think like 100 maybe. 50
yeah,
to
nobody
100.
has heard this story.
50
I just
to 100,
realized it in
really?
episode 1. We didn't talk about
like
it.
Sure.
like who DM'd
And last
you
So
first
this
or
is
whatever?
what happened. So I was looking on Instagram and I was typing in, I think this is how it went. I was typing in Houston, or this was on YouTube. I was typing in Houston vloggers. 'Cause
Really?
I wanted to be able to meet people and network and
Yeah.
make videos with them so we could cross our our subscriber base, and I could get more followers or
Sure,
subscribers
yeah.
or whatever. So I saw Roy, and he had more
How
subscribers
did you
than
find me?
That's what I was saying. I typed in Houston vloggers or
Really?
Houston videos, and one of your videos came up.
Really?
And I saw that you had like about the same amount of subscribers as me, but more. And I was like, this is perfect because
Wow.
we're pretty much on the same level, but you have more than me. So I wanted to reach out to Roy and make videos together. So just so I could gain some of his subscribers and he could gain some of mine.
Okay.
And then I think I hit you up on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man,
yeah.
I don't know what I said, but I was probably like, hey man, my name is Alex. Like I see that you make videos. Like we should collab sometime or do something.
Yes, I remember that, and I never reached back to you until like maybe 4 or 5 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we met.
Yeah.
Was
Interesting.
a plot for me trying to collaborate with people.
I was under the impression that you like hit up like maybe 10, 15, 20 people or something like that.
I did.
And I was
You
like,
were one of them.
I was like, he's probably talked to 1 million people. I guess I'll be one of the people that replied to him.
Sure.
And I replied back to you, and I was like, cool, that sounds great. And I went and looked at your content on YouTube. That was the first thing I did. Because I really didn't look at your Instagram because
Right.
it had maybe like a few posts of you doing whatever. And I was like, okay, I can't really gauge his personality.
Right.
But as soon as I saw your vlogs, I was like, this guy and we're the same human being, but he's taller, you know?
And then the first time we met in person, you came to my law
dude,
school.
That was
Right?
that
Did you know?
Yeah.
You saw the video for that. He
Yeah.
he vlogged it.
Yeah.
I was studying for like midterms or finals.
Yeah.
And Roy was like, no worries, I'll come to you. And I was like, what? I just said I'm studying. And he was like, meet me downstairs. I'm
Yeah.
coming. And I was like, oh, fuck, okay. Like, let's do that.
Yes.
So I went downstairs, stopped studying, met Roy outside in downtown Houston, and we walked around, and some lady came up to us and gave
you
us a
cake.
huge amount of cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that long though, and you're like, I gotta go back, and I was like, sure, go do your thing.
Yeah.
You know, good luck, good
Yeah.
seeing you, whatever.
But it felt so natural.
Yes.
So-
And in my head, I was like, I feel like I've pushed this off for like 2.5 months before
Yeah.
we actually met.
Right.
And I was like, screw it. I'm going to go see him. I don't care what he's doing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm here. Figure it out. Come
Right.
downstairs. Give me
Right.
5 minutes of your time.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
And you came down. We hit it off immediately.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I know you're studying. Go back study. Don't want to, ruin your life. But here's
we-
just our initial meetup.
And
Yeah.
we were spitballing about video ideas and
yeah.
just every time we get together, we talk YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And we were talking at Chipotle because last podcast we went to Chipotle after.
Yes, we
And
did.
we were talking about just YouTube shit and how people rub off on others. And that's why we're like, it's cool that Simon's in the podcast because we see a lot of potential in
Yes.
you.
And
So
now
we were
that,
like,
yes.
the content producing
Yes.
energy rubs off.
It does. It rubbed off
Hopefully.
on your
Sure.
fiance, and now it's going to rub off on Simon.
So can we rub you, please?
Not physically.
That is not what I was getting at.
Okay, well that's what I was getting at.
Well,
so.
Like I said, you're very strange.
it would have been funny if he said, "Sure, okay, yeah, shoulders and arms, please.
Go ahead. Yeah,
shoulders
go
and
ahead.
arms.
Give a nice
shoulders,
little one to rub.
shoulders and arms. That's all I need. Shoulders and arms."
Oh my God, that's funny.
I would like to know if there's content to be waned from you, Simon. You're a very intelligent human being, well read, got a lot of knowledge.
Very intelligent.
What would you like to talk about?
Weird kid. Intelligent nonetheless. Weird kid. Intelligent nonetheless. I'm filling the space until Simon answers. Weird kid.
I'm not answering because you're talking.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
All right.
Weird kid. Oh my
I'll
God.
figure it out soon.
Okay. Every time I see Roy,
Yeah.
he's wearing a superhero shirt.
Yes. This is one of my favorite characters. Yes.
I was about to ask, who's your
Flash.
favorite superhero? Do you have one?
The shirt I'm wearing right now, Flash, is in the top 5. My favorite still has to be Spider-Man.
Me too. I love Spider-Man.
What? Are you kidding me?
The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
I loved him. Yes.
Yes.
I like Tom Holland now.
Okay.
I'm a little bit more. My
What-
brother hates changing. He hates the change.
Sure.
He
Andrew
did- he was-
Garfield?
I have something about him. It's like Spider-Man, the character Peter Parker, is supposed to be some nerdy dude
Yeah.
that is not popular, that
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
likes or finds attractive,
And
and
he
then he
just-
changes and morphs into Spider-Man, this badass character.
Yeah.
Who's that? Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, they got the guy that looks like
He's
out of
already
One Direction.
attractive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he looks
Yeah.
like a typical
pretty
hipster,
boy.
what would be a very popular person in
Yeah.
today's day and age.
He's a pretty
That's not
boy.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, the whole storytelling of that, those two movies with Andrew Garfield in them, I was not
Not
a
as
fan
good.
of.
Not good.
Not-
I
good.
do have them just for the sake of, hey, watch what you shouldn't watch.
Sure, exactly.
I think they were decent. I wouldn't say they were
They
good.
were, I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the movie, but by no means does it come close to a Tobey
No
Maguire
way,
Spider-Man.
no way. Those
Not-
movies
no.
I could rewatch and enjoy it again.
People-
Even though I've seen them 5 times.
People
each.
even me too. People
Yeah.
even got upset about like the third movie. How many Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire were there? 3?
Yeah.
People
Yes.
got upset about like the second and third. I even love the third. 1, 2,
Really?
and 3. I loved them.
Okay.
Sandman, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
Sandman, Venom, and Green Goblin were all
Yes.
in that third one. I
Wasn't
just think there
there
was too many characters.
Dr. Octopus as well.
That was
That was the
second
second.
one.
Yeah.
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 Doc Ock.
So Doc Ock was in the second one, and I think that was better than the first one. Some people will disagree with me, but I
Okay.
love what Alfred Molina, I think is the actor's name.
Never heard of him.
He's the guy who played Doc Ock,
Okay.
and I love what he did with the character.
Right.
So yeah, Spider-Man, he's my favorite.
Mine's
Interesting.
Batman.
Really?
Batman.
So let me ask you
He's
this.
just a
Superhero's Batman.
billionaire with a suit
Yeah, and he's
and a
still,
nice car.
and he
also
still
known as
does-
Iron Man.
And he's still
What?
does
Oh, wait.
crazy shit. Yeah, Iron Man also rich.
Okay.
Rich boy.
Why do you
Billionaire.
like Batman so much? Because he's a super fan of Gotham,
No.
the show.
Okay.
I like Gotham though because I like Batman.
The TV
Not-
show.
And then we're
vice
getting into
versa.
TV shows. And have you seen Dexter?
No, and I haven't seen Archie
Sweet
either,
God.
or Riverdale, or whatever that show is.
Oh,
with
God.
the Archie
I've heard
comic
that's
books.
good.
You need to watch Dexter.
Dexter. Okay.
So good.
Oh, yeah,
Is that a comic book?
No.
Dexter.
It's about a serial
it's
killer
a series.
Oh,
that
okay.
murders
An-
other
It's
serial
a TV
killers.
series.
Oh.
He's a blood spatter analyst for the Miami Metro Police Department,
Oh.
so he knows the ins and outs of the crime scene.
And where the blood is coming from and how it
So
splatters onto
he's
the wall.
this weird So he's this weird superhero kind of that gets
Really?
rid, not for real, but
Vigilante.
yeah, he gets
Okay.
rid of the grimy population.
Oh.
So in a weird way, he's like a superhero, but he's also a serial killer.
Okay.
Awesome story.
Yes.
Anyway.
It's yes.
And I consistently tell Simon that that's better than Gotham without even seeing Gotham because I know it's true.
Oh, okay.
So I've consistently been telling Simon that Dexter is better than Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps I should give Gotham a chance. I was open-minded with the metal reactions. I should be open-minded in
I
all
should give
different
Dexter a
avenues.
chance.
Anyway, getting back to the main
Thing,
story.
which I mean, okay, so we're going back with you. You like Batman. We're both Spider-Man fans.
Yeah.
Marvel Universe, right?
It's not necessarily Marvel versus DC for me. It's just
Okay.
I'm a real big fan of Spider-Man.
Okay. And why do you like Spider-Man?
Because he's dope. I just remember.
Is it because of the movies, the comic books,
No,
or as a
I-
kid you had a Spider-Man action figure?
Well, so my mom gave me the Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire when it first came out on DVD.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was
okay.
like, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. And then I was like, Spider-Man for Halloween. And just growing up, just got that emotional connection with Spider-Man.
right.
You know?
Okay.
Spider-Man's definitely a close second for me because when I was a little kid, I loved those movies as well.
Plus, I love the underdog of it. Like I said, a nerdy character that nobody cares about.
Right.
Skinny guy
Yeah.
that gets picked on. And now he's the ultimate badass rather than Batman
That's
or
crazy.
who's already a badass. He's a billionaire. Like, you don't have to be Batman and you're already cool as hell.
I kind of like the I guess I don't want to say difference in symbolism, but like how like what you just said, Spider-Man, like Peter Parker's the underdog.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like Bruce Wayne when he's not in his bat suit puts on like this idea that he's just like a rich, snobby, greedy, self-centered playboy.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
billionaire playboy.
So like this
And
fa-
then-
facade that
Yeah,
he's really like
yeah,
this,
Okay.
but
and
really
then,
he's
like,
not that. Okay.
Like his actual true self is that he like really cares about, I guess in the context of the Batman universe, like fighting
Okay.
evil and like doing
Sure.
good.
So we
Right.
both like the idea of being a character that you're not judged to be. I like it more from a people think he sucks, but he's a badass. You think of it more like people think he sucks in the opposite direction, like he's just a snob,
right.
but really he
Yeah,
takes
yeah,
care
I
of people.
got
Well,
you, I got
I
you.
guess that's why they have secret identities, right? So
Right.
it's hard to differentiate or hard to tell what superhero is who.
Yeah, for sure. Why do you like Spider-Man, Roy? What is it about Spider-Man that does it for you?
I like honestly. I you guys are gonna laugh at me. It's like because
He looks good in his suit, his buttocks. Roy, what?
It's a little tight.
What the hell?
no, that's just butt envy.
Okay.
You wish your butt looked that
Oh my
good.
god, 100%.
Yeah. Why would you do your eyes like that?
I'm projecting onto Roy. Why do you like his ass so much? I secretly love it. Okay, go ahead.
Oh gosh, it's more information we have to share with Sarah.
My face is getting hot.
Drink some water.
I need some water.
Sarah,
Yeah.
he wants to have a fine ass of his own. That doesn't make any. That all sounds bad the way I just said all that. No, the
Okay, go
reason
ahead.
why I like Peter Parker is because he was a photographer.
Oh,
Oh, you're connecting the dots now. I'm a photographer.
You self-identify with
I was a
Spider-Man more so than
photographer
anybody
all
else.
through high school.
Makes
and everything.
sense.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, cool. He's a photographer and everything. Just like I identify with Jimmy Olsen from Superman series. Where
Okay.
Jimmy Olsen was a photographer, and I was
Got
just
it.
like, I'm the photographer, and that's why I always liked him. Even as a kid, I had little cameras and stuff. And
Got
like that.
it.
So I found myself as being the underdog, like you're saying.
Got you.
I affiliated with.
I remember having a Spider-Man web blaster that was fucking.
Oh, that's
awesome.
awesome.
Do you remember those?
No.
It was like a kid's toy. You put
It
in
went on your
hand.
wrist?
Yeah, and it
And
had
you
like
hit
a
the
can of spray
You
web, and you
push the thing.
shot web. It was
Push the thing in
awesome.
the middle with your fingers, just like the Spider-Man.
If someone just saw the video, without any audio, it would look like you're showing us how to do something very interesting.
What are you doing with your hands there? So, yeah.
Why are you doing a come here motion like that?
Yes.
What are you putting your
I'm
fingers
just
in? Okay.
explaining how to use Spider-Man toys.
Okay. Well, with that, I'm tossing this to Roy, letting him exit the podcast. I think that's all the time we got for today.
I think it's been fabulous.
It
pretty
went
good.
quick as hell.
Yeah, it
It
did.
was a really fast one.
I think it was the fastest hour ever. Yes.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Any last remaining words for all your fans, Simon?
I love you guys.
I love you both.
Oh,
and
okay.
You both. I love everybody watching and appreciate the support.
yes, for sure. And one thing that I have to say, like I said, I want to bring value to you guys listening to this
Right,
podcast. I want
definitely.
to bring entertainment,
Yes.
bring just some tips, whatever. If you have a dream, whatever the hell it is, just go out and fucking do it.
Yes.
Go try it at least. If
Chase
you want
it.
to, if you want to sing, if you want to draw, if you want to paint, if you want to make reaction videos, if you want to be an athlete, just go do it.
Yes, I agree.
Jesus.
100% with all of that.
My
Yes.
God.
I love how you mentioned like nothing conventional at all.
If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, go to school, take out $200,000 in debt, and never be able
Like
to pay
Alex.
never be able to pay it back, and live like that.
That sounds like the same guy
That's
I'm sitting
fine
next
too.
to.
Just whatever makes you happy, just do that. That's what I have to say.
I like
Find
that.
happiness.
Exactly.
Cool. You guys have been awesome. Thank you again for being on the show.
Yes.
I'm so glad to be a part of it, and thank you for the invite. It's been fantastic.
You are more than welcome.
Cool. Now, what do I say to wrap this thing up?
The outro.
I like what you said at the beginning of the first podcast, at the end of the first podcast, where you're like, tune in next week for another exciting episode of The Lunchbox.
I like that. Okay, so I'll say that again. Here we go. Tune in next week for an exciting episode of The Lunchbox.